WWE 2K26 arguably has one of the greatest gameplays of all time for a 2K WWE game. And unfortunately, it's already dead. I mean, yeah, it just seems like the general consensus thus far is people feeling burnt out. Monetization everywhere, the Ringside pass. There has just been lots of just negativity around this game since honestly day one. And to me, that is probably the biggest problem, right? When you look at the gameplay and you look at the things that this game offers, I do feel that it is pretty solid. But aside from the gameplay and the things it offers, you look at universe mode, which part of it was a bit broken when it dropped. You look at the creation suite, which was broken. Same thing happened last year as well with 25, where the creation suite was broken. Gameplay servers broken. There was just so many issues within this game aside from the obvious with monetization and Ringside pass that I do feel that it turned a lot of people off. Now at this point in time, it does seem that the game is working as intended. I have seen that being said by a lot of people and a lot of players, but I do feel that it is too late, right? There was so many patches, so many fixes and things that kept going out that it just turned people off in the process. Some people even feel like, man, I should have never spent $150 on this game. It seems like this price was a bit overboard, and I have to wonder, do they scale this back a bit in the upcoming year? I don't think they will, just because it looks like the game sold still pretty well regardless. But even looking at a WWE 2K25 was solid, and I felt that it did have its issues. I still feel that the life cycle of 2K25, even though at the time it didn't seem that way, it seemed like it actually did last. Now, I'm not sure if it was the fact that, you know, the cross-platform community creations and all that stuff was still working on 25. I know that 26, that has been a big inconvenience for a lot of players. 2K25 did seem to have much more going for itself at this point in time, and it is surprising because we've gotten already a couple of DLC packs. We're already through 3 Ringside pass seasons. There's 3 more to go, and the next one that's coming up is the Hardys, which I do think people will get on 2K26 to play with the Hardys. It just feels like the interest is at an all-time low from a content creator standpoint, from a player standpoint. It is tough because I was somebody that was playing the hell out of WWE 2K26 for the first 2 months, and then I feel like slowly and little by little I started to drop off and put my attention towards something else. With that being said, I still feel that if I get on the game and play online and play against people and play with the weapon physics and the ragdolls and all that stuff, I'm still gonna have tons of fun. So I'm not dissing the experience that the game gave me, but in terms of the longevity period and the replayability, I think that's what it goes on ahead and comes down to, right? And it seems like there's so many people feeling this way with just the way that they feel about this game and how they feel that it just didn't offer them exactly what they wanted, because that was an issue as well. And that's just, you know, what it is, right? Issues on top of issues on top of issues. And some of the responses and things just being a bit tone deaf at times, I think that also contributed to the way that people feel. And that's just the unfortunate part of it, because I do feel that this game was solid, but there were so many issues around it just plaguing it that people decided to jump off that train real quick. And the Ringside Pass being one of the biggest issues here. The fact that the Ringside Pass offers all of these rewards, but people still feel like it's a chore. Now, for me, I personally thought that the Ringside Pass was going to be a pretty good idea. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. I didn't think that it was going to be as negative as it has. And I guess that's just the experience that I've had with other games with having a pass involved. I usually don't mind it. I like the rewards that I can get while playing the game, but I also understand why people feel the way that they do, because certain things that you do in the game influence, you know, how you go on ahead and build XP and get towards that level 40. So I understand that part of it and how people feel by the time they get to level 40, they are already kind of done for the season and are just waiting for the next one. I personally don't feel that way, but I have seen that sentiment get shared around. And me personally, I feel like, you know, even though it's not the best way to do it, right? Because the whole point of the pass is play the game and unlock things as you enjoy the game. But I just like to get stuff quickly so I can get it done in a day, and then I have the rest of the season to kind of go back and forth and play with those rewards. But I understand that not everybody likes to play that way, especially when there's a pass involved, right? So it's only how you approach it and how you see it. And I see both points of views, right? I see the point of view where people play it early, get it out the way to just enjoy the game afterwards and just get the rewards. But I also see the point of view of, okay, you know, I'm kind of tired of this and I'm kind of tired of playing this. By the time I get to that, I'm not even going to want to play no more. For me, with the Ringside Pass, it's not taking away anything from the DLC. It's just there, right? It's additional stuff for you to earn. I personally haven't minded it as much as others have. I felt that putting the DLC at level 1 was going to help the pass tremendously, in my opinion, because I felt that the point of view was going to be shifted to, okay, there's going to be extra things in here now, right? That's the way that I was looking at it from a player standpoint, and I honestly still look at it that way. I don't see the Ringside Pass as big of an issue as others do. I can just agree with the fact that there are rewards that should be better in there and things that should be prioritized better in that pass. So I definitely understand that sentiment of it, right? Because I think that they still have not nailed it all the way yet. So I feel that if they can fix that, maybe it could help. But there has just been such a negative stigma around this pass that I also understand why people feel the way that they feel. WWE 2K26's monetization with MyFaction, I feel that that has been one of the bigger issues, in my opinion, even bigger than the Ringside Pass. The monetization within the game itself and how it's approached and how they're using old character models that were in the games in year before and were already accessible and things that people have already paid for and using them in MyFaction for people to pay for it again, grind again. I think that that's the more distasteful thing, in my opinion, and that's something that 100% needs to be improved going forward in the upcoming years if MyFaction Persona cards are going to continue being a part of this game, because I can't get behind the fact that I have to spend money the year before for a character model and then do it again in the next year. I feel that if you are going to monetize off of these models, there should be new models to monetize off in every single year. There shouldn't be old content that I'm seeing up for monetization again. And that's where my bigger issue comes in. And I think a larger part of the community's issue comes in with that too, because if you look at MyFaction and the way that it is approached, it is one of those things where I'm like, you know, it's completely turned me off. And maybe it's the approach, maybe it's the way that they're doing things. There's a couple things in there that I'm like, man, maybe this mode is just not working out right. The Persona cards are really the only thing in that mode that get people to come back. But as a player and somebody who looks forward to the packs and the content on Fridays, it is really hard to look forward to a lot of these things because the content is literally just repetitive. It's stuff that we've already seen before most of the time. And that's where the issue is for me with just the replayability of MyFaction and seeing how MyFaction is constantly approached. I really want to see this mode improve, get better, but unfortunately, it just looks like every single time there's just something new that I'm just not enjoying. And even though people don't play MyFaction, right? Because a lot of people don't play it. That's just the reality. But a lot of people also do play it. But the people that don't play it always want the Persona cards and things like that. I do feel that, again, that is one of the big contributions as to why people are feeling the way that they do. Because when it comes down to a gameplay standpoint, going back to the beginning of the video, I feel that this game did deliver. Now, I do feel that one big issue just stemming from the gameplay and just getting away from monetization and Ringside Pass and all that stuff is the way that the game looks. We have been seeing this game looking the exact same, and yes, different lighting and things like that, you know, it does change from year to year, but from a general standpoint, this game looks the same. Like 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 looks very, very similar to each other. And I think that is also causing fatigue for players because people want to see something new. I think it is tiring to see the exact, you know, same thing for years, right? When you look at, you know, an NBA 2K or a Madden, right? Madden went fully current gen and you can see the improvements within the field, the lighting, the way the players look and the way things change. You can't feel that same feeling within WWE 2K just yet. Maybe next year for 2K27, but the reality is right now, it just feels like this game is in the water and there's no bringing it back, right? And that's, again, no diss to the gameplay, but I think the surrounding issues that plagued what this game could be has just kind of left it in the state that it is. And I think that it is a little bit of everything and 2K kind of self-inflicting with certain things. We'll have to see how they decide to approach the next year, but as of right now, I definitely understand everyone's sentiment. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to stay tuned for the next one. I'm gonna catch y'all. Peace.